Harry T. Hayward was born around 1865 in Macoupin County, Illinois, to parents William and Lodusky Hayward. His family relocated to Minneapolis, Minnesota when he was just an infant. At the age of 6, they briefly returned to Illinois and resided there for approximately a year. After returning to Minneapolis, Hayward began his education in a private school, where he spent 6 months before transferring to a public school. Accounts from school acquaintances shed light on Hayward's involvement in bullying and mistreatment of domestic animals. Following his high school graduation, Hayward secured employment as a clerk. However, by the time he reached 20, he had developed a gambling addiction. Despite receiving Catholic religious instruction during his youth, Hayward delved into literature that advocated atheism. He used the content of these writings to rationalize his self-centered perspective and engaged in criminal activities. In January of 1894, Harry Hayward crossed paths with Catherine Kitty Ging, a tenant at his parents' Ozark Flats residence. He convinced her to lend him substantial amounts of money, which he promptly wagered in gambling ventures. When Kitty pressed for the return of her funds, Harry paid her back with counterfeit currency. Privately, he referred to her as an easy target. Tragically, on December 3, 1894, Kitty's lifeless body was discovered with a gunshot wound behind her ear on a road near Lake Calhoun. It later emerged that Harry had manipulated her into acquiring a $10,000 life insurance policy, designating him the sole beneficiary. At first glance, Harry seemed to be at the forefront of the search for the murderer, capitalizing on the fact that Kitty had borrowed money from him and insisting that someone had killed her over it. However, a twist emerged when Harry's brother, Audrey, confided in a family friend named Levi Stewart. Audrey disclosed that Harry had asked him to eliminate Kitty. Stewart promptly contacted the Hennepin County Attorney's Office. Audrey unveiled that the actual perpetrator was Claude Blix. Following Claude Blix's confession, both he and Harry Hayward were apprehended. Harry Hayward's trial for first-degree murder commenced on January 21, 1895, with Judge C. Graves Smith presiding. Leading the prosecution was Hennepin County Attorney Frank M. Nye. Hayward's defense was led by the notable William Irwin and John Day Smith, a Baptist deacon and Republican senator. Smith's background as a soldier in the 1st Regiment Minnesota Volunteer Infantry during the American Civil War had fueled his dedication to advocating against the death penalty in Minnesota. This legal battle, as documented by Walter Trenery, extended over a grueling 46 days and featured testimony from 136 witnesses. The prosecution's key witnesses included the triggerman, Claude Blix, and Harry's elder brother, Audrey Hayward. The defense attempted unsuccessfully to have Audrey Hayward's testimony deemed inadmissible, citing concerns about his mental state regarding the matter. Upon the defense's turn, Hayward himself took the stand and vehemently refuted all allegations against him. On March 8, 1895, the jury returned a verdict of guilty for first-degree murder. 3 days later, on March 11th, Judge Smith imposed the death penalty by hanging. In the early hours of December 11th, 1895, Harry T. Hayward met his end by hanging at the Hennepin County Jail. The evening before, on December 10th, he expressed his sentiment about members of the clergy, saying, "I have a liking for these men and wish to treat them with due respect, but I hold no affinity for religion. Typically, individuals in my position turn to faith, thinking it will prepare them for the final ordeal. I find no need for it. I am at peace." At midnight on December 11th, John Day Smith visited Hayward and secured a promise from him to publicly confess his faith in Jesus Christ from the gallows. Moments later, Hayward was dressed in a somber black robe and cap and led to the gallows by Hennepin County Sheriff John Holmberg. On his way, he cheerfully greeted the onlookers, bidding them good evening and requesting 3 cheers for himself. When asked for his last words, Hayward delivered a lengthy and witty discourse, cracking jokes about his impending demise, leading one witness to recall that the spectators viewed him almost as if he were a stage performer, ready to take a bow, accept his applause, and exit the stage. Ultimately, Hayward honored his pledge to Smith, stating, "He is a religious man, and I told him I would promise to say what he asked of me. I gave him my word, although if I genuinely believed it, I would say it for my own peace." Hayward also expressed remorse for his brother Audrey, saying, "He has not wronged me. I have done him a great injustice and harm, and I have sought his forgiveness, which he granted." Hayward's seemingly nonchalant discourse continued until Sheriff Holmberg intervened, instructing him to meet his fate like a man. Hayward's arms and legs were secured, and a noose was positioned around his neck. He retorted with a sneer and quip, "Maintain your courage, gentlemen." His final words were, "Pull it tight, Alan Durr." The gallows trap was released at 2:12 a.m., but due to a miscalculation, Hayward endured a slow strangulation. He was declared deceased at 2:25 a.m. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing by clicking the red subscribe button below. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to us. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.